Um, Dave used to play bass for Pathogen.
Oh yeah, cool.
So yeah, he's took on the duties, and we've come up with another drummer that I just sort of like brought on board about.
Guy Bell, welcome back to Nightbreed, man. It's been like 20-something years. It's crazy.
It's been exactly 2 decades, mate. Eh? I like how you posted up the old radio. How things have changed, eh?
Yeah, that's
Had
it.
to do it over the phone and record on the tapes and stuff, and now I can see your goddamn face again.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, yeah. It's good to see you still at it, though, man. It's cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. It's like whipping an old horse, isn't it? It's just like you never learn. Just love to do it. So yeah, it's
That's good, man. That's good. So, where are we talking to you from, man? Where are you?
yeah. So I'm in Welshpool in Perth, in West Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in our hometown, bro. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
COVID happy, COVID free.
Very good, man. Excellent. Yeah. That's good. All right. Well, I guess if it's cool with you, I wouldn't mind going back to the start, man. 1996. What do you remember about Enforce first starting out? What sort of it first inspired that to begin?
Yeah, so I left the mines and that, I think about 96 and that, and I used to play with a few musos over there. So my first job, I was like working with this metalhead drummer at a car detailing place. And he's just like, do you like bolt thrower? I said, yeah, fuck, I love bolt thrower. I love thrash and that. Yeah, no worries. So like, yeah, we started jamming together, and then I met this bloke when I was getting my Bedford fixed. And he saw me all the metal stuff and the gear, and then he goes, man, I got this young kid working at my pizza shop who loves metal. So I said, oh, yeah, no worries. And that was Rob Hartley, who was the other guitarist.
Yeah.
So I went around there, and I think I was 26, and he was only just turned 18. So from that point on, we started jamming in the bottom of the drummer's house, under stilts in the dirt, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, that's how it started. And then we got a couple of songs down. We looked for a bass player, and then we found Dave Dowse. So yeah, how things have changed.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So 1998, the Premonition tape comes out. What do you remember about like recording that?
Yeah, the old days of analog, so reel to reel. Yep. So that was basically a live recording, one take, and then we just overlaid. I think the only thing we overlaid was vocals and lead guitar. So yeah, the old reel to reel, you know, going back and forth and stuff like that. And we had to do it in one take. So if we fucked it up, it'd start again. So it was a long weekend.
Yeah.
And the photo on the tape, if people have got it, you know, there's a photo of us just straight after the recording. We looked absolutely exhausted because I think it was in summer, just before December, and I think it was like 35-degree heat. And air conditioning back then was more like, you know, humidifiers. So yeah, but we did the job and it was good. So yeah, it was a good step for us.
Yeah, man, cool. And then, of course, 2000, when we sort of last spoke, Campfire Night, the album comes out. Nuclear War is definitely a catchy death track, you know, it's a killer song, still is, man. What do you remember about, you know, moving on to the album?
Yeah, when we released that, yeah, I think that was the one that got us all this sort of like people looking at us and that. So unfortunately after that, our drummer, who's actually deceased now, so off that album, he died this year. I went to his funeral.
Oh,
so yeah, but at that time he had a car accident and he got T-boned and he lost basically 20% feeling in his feet because he was supposed to come out. So we lost our drummer and our bass player at the same time, straight after the release of Campfire Night. So we never actually did a launch for it. So yeah, but yeah, it opened a lot of doors for us. We got a lot of invites, but unfortunately, you know, due to the Enforcers' bad luck back in those days, we went through a lot of musicians and, you know, just accidents and stuff like that. It was just yeah, it's just the way it was.
Yeah. So 2003, Message of Death comes out. Was that a lineup that you were with for a little while for that recording?
Yeah. So we had at that time we had Troy Watson join in 2000, and George Galifeo, who was the bass player. So it was still me and Rob. he joined, and we made Message of Death. So half of it was recorded through our drummer. He was just starting to do his own studio, and then half we did with Aidan Barton, which was his studios that he does. And then we brought out Message of Death. So that was an amalgamation of all the different characters at that time. So we mainly just because George was a phenomenal bass player. He used to play fretless bass and stuff like that. So, and he was from another thrash band that we sort of pilfered to come and join us and that. And that was good. So we didn't really get as good reaction from that album, I think, at the time, because we joined up with because of Campfire Night, we joined up with Sonic Wave International. And that was through Singapore, and at that time, 2003, 2004, I think the Malaysian government or the Asian government banned all metal through Asia and those countries. So overnight we lost a lot of stuff. So bad luck was following us around a lot in those early days. And I'm just away from it at this point in time. But
shit. Well, talking about the early days, I remember playing a show with you guys when I was in Scythian a long time ago. I think it was the Grosvenor maybe. And I don't know if you remember this. I'm playing bass, doing vocals, and the mic starts going down like this. So I'm on my knees. You fucking come out and help me, I appreciated that. Do you have any other, memories, good, bad, or otherwise, from playing shows back then?
Oh yeah, I've had heaps, man. Like, I think we're doing a gig at the White Sands, and I remember the corner of my eye seeing someone run onto the stage, jump onto the wedge to grab the lighting thing and fling himself over into the pit or something like that. And I'm going ass up into my pedals, crack his head on the wedge, and then all of a sudden I just remember my sound just disappeared. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm looking through this crowd, and the pedals are in there. There's this one dude on the floor holding his head like this. And the guy said, man, I got that on camera. You would not believe what happened. And I'm just like, where the hell's my stuff? But yeah, a lot of stage antics, like you got to watch your gear. Like when, the old days of stage divers and that, they're just treading on shit, kicking stuff over. And at when we used to do gigs on the floor at the one of the pubs, the Hyde Park Hotel on that corner park.
Yeah,
they're right in front of you. They're right in front of you. So the guys are all moving and thrashing. I copped a few mics in the face, and same thing with someone's holding the mic for you during the side if the little nut breaks. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's lots of heaps of stories, mate. 2 minutes later, so I got 24 years worth.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, man. What about supports? I mean, you guys played with some awesome bands, yeah? Like, you must have some good memories from that.
Yeah, well, so our first national support was with Cryptopsy, and interesting. Like in Wayne's World with Alice Cooper when they meet Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, these guys, it's like the lead singer Worm, like he was an English lit professor, so he was very fluent and stuff like that. The bass player, he was like a half Cherokee Indian and because they're all French Canadian, and just the different styles. They're actually quite professional, and same with Behemoth. Regal and that. We did a show with them at Black Betty's, and then later on he hung around. I think a year after when he did a gig with Job with the Cowboy, and we came to a New Year's Eve party at Longy's. And he was hanging around, and everyone's like, what do you think normally? Because the movie's like, oh yeah, everyone's getting drunk, but no, he was very refreshing. So I had a drink, I had a couple of waters. Because the 7 days, I'm going to be playing in Japan. You know what I mean? So I never really met any sort of the pro musos that were really out there. They were just normal people like me and you, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've seen people come up to me being the fan as much as I was the fan when I met Millie from Creator when we supported him in Fremantle in 2009. I was like a big kid. It was like sign my stuff, and then from that point on I knew exactly what the other guy was doing when he comes see me. He goes, oh hello, blah blah blah, because we had one guy, he was doing a world trip and he was from Bulgaria, and I think we Campfire Night, Message of Death, we did a lot of the CD comp discs like Metallica magazine and Terrorizer and stuff like that. And a lot of trades and that. And this guy, basically made sure that when he came to Australia, he was going to come to an Alforski. And he, like, even then, I think we only had 250 people there, and he was amazed, like, why is there no one here? If you're in my country, you would have thousands. And I'm like, oh my God, we're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And he was in awe, like I was just standing, he was just like, I can't believe I'm standing here with Enforce. And they're buying me drinks and stuff and just saying hello. And we're just people at the end of the day.
Yeah, cool. Talking about overseas, you guys have played overseas.
Yeah, we've only done one, which was the Rock and Solo. I think it was 2011.
Uh-huh.
Because we had through the early days of like trading tapes and CDs and that. So I've got a lot of friends in Asia. So I've always been invited over there because it's pretty good for us here. It's really close. So I think it was. So I made friends with Krishna, but there's another friend of mine who was in a band called Abattoir, who's passed as well. So they invited us over and we played with, I think, Death Angel and Cataclysm were the headliners. And I think it's their local, because I think after that they did a Hammer Sonic. I think Hammer Sonic sort of took over and brought them out. But yeah, we played to like, I think it was about 8,000 people inside in the festival. But on the outside of the walls, because it's a third world country and they're really quite poor. Because I think it was about 100 rupiah for the gig, 150, and the majority of the people there only earned like 100 a month. But outside there was like 25,000 outside listening over the walls. Just crazy. Like we went outside and we just got mobbed, and I had an idea, so you should set up an outside stage just for like the bands to come up, just play a song for the ones that can't afford it. Because you go out there and you're just like, God, there's just like heaps. But yeah, it was an eye opener, and we did a little video. We sort of cut parts back and forth for Tank. I think we got it on our site. We did the Tank video, and it's got all the footage from that Rock and Solo festival.
Yeah, it looks mad.
They're just all over. Like, they follow you to the toilet because there was no like special place. You had like a little tent at the back, a little fridge that was battling the heat or the humidity to try and get cold drinks. And everyone's like taking photos or jumping out. When you go to the toilet, it's a shared toilet, so they're all like following you to the toilet, like wanting you to sign something or take a photo. So I'm taking a photo of this guy's going, hey.
Yeah.
And it's nothing freaking out, going, they followed me to the toilet, man. I said, oh, welcome to being a rock star, mate. You're lucky they're on the side trying to collect it.
Yeah. Jeez, man, yeah. Cool. So 2011, Lyrical comes out. So it's a bit of a stint between recordings there. We still writing and stuff for that time?
Yeah, most between, I think it was 2004, 2011, yeah. Because at that point, the drummer took over all recording. So obviously he was learning, and unfortunately for us, every time there was a new upgrade, he wanted to upgrade.
Yeah, sure.
And when you upgrade, he wants to re-record again. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh my God, can't you transfer files? No, you can't transfer files because it's a different format or whatever. You know what I mean? And then because the time goes by, then someone gets an idea, maybe we can change that part. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. But we got Lyrical down, which was good. That was the first album that Troy did, so yeah, it turned out quite well for the basis what we had and stuff like that, and the response, because like we were supposed to do a national tour with Bolt Thrower, I think in 2011, but they got canned. I think the tour for them in Australia, and then we just had to end up just doing it by ourselves. We just do a few, like I think the Barca Fests were going on back then, I think through Soundworks. We hooked up with a few guys that we've known before through different cities, and it sort of worked out all right. And we signed on to which is MGM's like small distribution label, which was Green, and now they're defunct.
Oh well, okay.
They do pop up these things, so we'll do the small class independent guys, but yeah, it is what it is, mate. Being a small independent artist, there's so many bands and stuff out there to compete with. But all you do is give your best shot. But sold a few though. A lot of people like it. So yeah, and a lot of people request for the song. So yeah, must be doing something right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So your current lineup, according to Metal Archives, is all kind of recent-ish, 2017, 2018. Is that right?
Yeah, I went up there and changed it.
Oh, yeah.
I think I did. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, 2018, I think, which
Yeah.
changed. Yeah.
Cool. So how's the current lineup feel compared to the earlier ones? Is it all kind of gelling all right?
Yeah, with every band, mate, you have different personalities, you know. So now I've got so Rob left with Troy. So Troy basically left in 2016. Rob wanted to complete the album we're doing at the time, because like a couple of the songs that are on this album I wrote back then. And yeah, we sort of had a bit of, so Rob wanted to finish an album and then leave, and I said, look, if you're going to leave, mate, you might as well just leave, you know. So might as well bring someone else in and just like start from new, because like there's no point doing an album and then someone else has to learn it, you know, because I had trouble with Troy, like trying to play songs that he did Message Left, like he was really resistant to do stuff that he didn't write. So it's trying to find artists like that. But yeah, with these guys, so Paul is on lead guitar, and he used to play in a few bands I used to play with in the early 2000s called Rift, and some other bands. And he's a real thrash guy, and he just like hit me up when I put out an event for it, saying looking for a guitarist. And he was, yeah, I'd love to do it, man. So I've known Paul for a while. Our bass player is only 20, he's turning 21.
Wow. Okay.
So Campfire Night is older than him.
That's crazy, man. Yeah.
He's a real. He goes to Whopper. He's a student of music. So, and even my Adidas Rome's bud. You know what I mean? I've got them. I was point them out and say, guess what? Well, Sean, these shoes are older than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our drummer Dames, like he joined just after about 2017. Funny thing with Dames, he used to tell us stories like afterwards. He goes, yeah, me and my friend used to jump the wall at White Sands to come watch his play.
Yeah.
At all ages and ages gigs, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So basically, you know, I've got a bolt thrower style. You know, the last bolt thrower drummer was an actual fan of them. You know, the one that passed, and they don't really do gigs anymore. But yeah, so Dames is basically the fan of the band. You know, and he's, even when he auditioned, he just couldn't believe he was actually drumming for a band that he used to go watch all the time and he loved. So he's actually quite stoked, and we're actually good friends. So yeah, it's all gelling quite well. I mean, it's a good thing that we're all sort of thrash heads. You know what I mean? All different styles, except for the bass player, who's the more your deathcore.
Okay.
Sort of but he loves all styles of music. So, but it's good having his influence, because he's the new generation. So he sort of like tells us old guys, oh, how about you do it this way? Because like, this is what our guys like, you know? And we go, oh, that sounds great. We'll incorporate that. So even on this album, we've incorporated a lot of the bass player's ideas as much as the other lead guitar. So I reckon it turned out quite well. Quite nice, actually.
Yeah, cool. Talking about Deep Blue, how was the recording on this one compared to earlier? I mean, lots has changed in 24 years, right?
No, yeah. So we went back to Campfire Night basically. So we grabbed the same guy who recorded back then, which was Al from Begurk Studios. So he's got his mobile studio. So the drummer's got a huge 4-car garage that we use as a jam room, all kitted up. So he came down and recorded it, but recorded it digitally. You know, and we did it all at the house. So we did it over about, I think, 5 weekends. And then he's got his own mastering studio and stuff like that, mixing at his house, because he does it actually for a job. And so went back to the good old Al. He did Campfire Night. You know, he does all. And I never really wanted to leave him initially, but because the drummer, wanted to take it on and cut costs, basically, realistically. That's the reason why he wanted to do it himself, so he can cover costs for Message to Death and that. So I was, because he's not around, and I just went, stuff it. I'll go, get up, Al. Obviously, I've still got the reels, but yes, no, we don't use that anymore, guy. We've got this new Butte system. I went, great. With these new Butte mics, and it's even better. And yeah, that's how this one turned around. So yeah, we started recording it during the COVID time, so it's last October. last year. I think we finished it about January and mixed and mastered and finished it as a complete thing to go off, I think, about start of March.
Cool. Yeah. How do you think Enforcer's sound has changed since, comparing your albums and that kind of thing? What's different about this one?
Not much, really.
Oh, yeah.
The distortion sounds about the same. My vocal stuff's the same. Probably a little bit different in songwriting, depending on the people in the band. I think this one's a bit more. It's not as fast in songs. I think you've got a bit more like medium pace stuff. You're going to get a couple of really fast parts and stuff like that. Not as much as backing. I've got the other guitarist doing a few backing vocals on some of the stuff that he's done. Lead's a bit different. The sound, I reckon obviously the sound quality is a bit more refined. But we use more of the live sound because, all the best thrash, because we didn't do any click tracks or no programming. So, all the best thrash albums in the 80s don't use click tracks. And the click track thing's the new thing, you know what I mean? So basically it was the drummer and myself with a click track. We did everything together. And then other guys came in and did their parts. And then, so it really sounds like, I'm trying to make it sound like an 80s style recording sort of style album. Not really technically have to be perfect all the time, a bit of feedback here and there. One of the guys goes, "Oh, you buffed a note," and I said, "You actually did it on purpose." So you can hear like a doo-doo-doo, instead of because everyone's really refined their sound. I said, that's a thrash album, you know what I mean? It's raw, but it's clean. You know what I mean? But I'm quite happy with it.
No, cool, man. That's awesome. What kind of lyrical themes are going on on this new one? What are you singing about?
Okay, so was it the first song, Dark Cloud? We had one of these guys in the band, Jorby. He was the last lead guitarist. He had always had lots of people dying in his family. Always had to keep nicking off to New Zealand, and every time he left, someone else would die. And he kept going, and I just said to him, I said, "Man, there's a dark cloud following you. Seriously, with your family, something's really bad." So that gave me that inspiration to write a song about that and how you'll never succumb to that dark cloud. You'll always avoid it. So you look at that aspect of that, and Thrash Attack is just basically, people that just absolutely just really get under your skin, which is the second title track. And that was like a personal, people just irritate you, just grit your teeth sometimes. You just sit there and you just I don't really want to walk away, but I have to, but Where Did She Go? So that's basically a tribute to the, most metalheads, we sort of outnumber the ladies in the pit and stuff like that. And every now and then when you go to a metal gig and you go to see a mosh pit and you see that crazy chick or a couple of them at the front or in the middle, with the big boys bashing around, so that was a tribute to them because we've seen a couple girls in there, so we're always going, "Oh, where did she go?" And she's, "Oh, look, she's in the pit. That's where she is, mate, having a ball." And and then we got Born of Bloodshed, so that was one of the lead guitarist songs. He had he follows a lot of comic book stuff called The Executioner, I think. I'm not too cluey on that, but he sort of wrote on he's got his own sort of theories of someone who's just killing all the time and stuff like that. So that was, can't avoid it, and everything's to do with death and stuff like that, and trying to evade it. So and the fifth track, which is because we're on all the albums, I always try to make the title track the fifth track. So Deep Blue is basically just about the power of the ocean, realistically, because I grew up on the beach as a surfer myself. In my town we're all metalheads when we surfed. So my experiences of going out there, all the big waves and stuff like that, and then getting absolutely hammered and then trying not to drown. And then we've got the next one, which is Metal United. So I wrote that about 2013, 2014. And that's just basically, you've ever seen that, was a documentary called, I think it was called Metal Evolution?
Yeah.
Did you hear about? Yeah, and how he went through all the different aspects of when metal started and stuff like that. So that sort of inspired me to write that. And I think I bought the box set, and you got a free shirt with it. And on the back of the shirt had all the genres listed of like the family tree and stuff like that. So I used that concept of, you know, where it started and where it is now. And, you know, like, and pulling us together, like we're all united. And it's even quite funny, like with Metal Ruse, who's helping us promote this album, like he started his own concept of Metal United Australia, which was recently happened in June 12th, and he does Metal United worldwide. And he even said to me, he said, "Oh, did you like, you know, get that idea from me when you wrote that song?" I said, no, it was quite funny. I actually wrote that song before you did that concept. And even when that concept started, I'm going, yeah, of course, you know, I would have done that myself, but yeah. And then the last two songs on the album, you got Without Us. Yeah, lead guitarist wrote that. Yeah, it's sort of like a more of a personal battle. I think with that, that's the sort of my storyline for that one. And then the last one is Death Before Dishonor. So basically, yeah, so it's about, you know, if you go into battle, Death Before Dishonor, basically. So the title sort of explains itself.
Cool. Yeah.
And then we got a nice little track at the end, which is called Deathcore Is My Thing, which you'll have to listen to because there's no storyline to that, but you'll understand it when you hear it.
All right, cool. So you guys are playing a show 24th of July, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so down at Frio, Swan Basement. Yeah, we're playing with a few new bands and quite established bands. So we're playing with Six Empty Bottles. They're sort of like a heavy metal hard rock band. Then Secular, that'll be their first show. They're similar to us. So they remind me of like the Tomb sound as well, but different sort of style vocals and that. And obviously we're playing third, and then we've got Diamond Sky playing last. And yeah, I was like, yeah, the vocalist, like his pipes, my God, like, seriously, he plays a lot of cover bands around Perth. But yeah, that voice, I tell you, probably one of the best voices of Perth going around, I reckon.
Yeah, cool.
Good old Freddie.
So do you have any other shows planned off the back of the album?
Yeah, so the CD launch will be September 4th at Linnet's Lounge, which is the old Boston.
Cool.
And we've got Doom Cave, which is friend Aiden Vesgard. So his band, awesome band. Seriously, I saw him play at amps, and yeah, he's got all the proper soundtrack stuff. He's playing with the programming. It's like it's an awesome show. It's not like a concert. It's like, yeah, it's like watching theatre. Then we got friends from down in Bunbury, which is Death Dependent, thrash guys like us, and a new up and starting sort of thrash band called as Light Decays. And they're probably one of the hardest working sort of thrash metal bands at the moment in Perth in the last 2 years. So like, yeah, I know those guys pretty well. Like meeting them on the scene, and I said, yeah, man, got to have you on the gig. These guys deserve it, you know. So, and we got other ones planned as well. We got then we got October 30th in Bunbury this year, and we've got another one in November.
Sweet.
And I think we've got another one in October. Yeah, they're just like coming in at the moment. When you start releasing albums and people hear it and they think it's okay, and they just start asking you to gig. So I think we're going to be very busy, hopefully, unless COVID stops that.
Yeah, fingers crossed, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. All right, well, look, Guy, it's been awesome to talk to you. Hopefully we can do this again in another 20 years, mate. We'll see what happens, eh?
20 years, mate. I'll be 70. I'm turning 50 this year, bro.
Yeah. I'll be
20.
60, mate. I'll be.
You'll be 60. You're still spring chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny how things go, don't they? Like, you know, I listened to the one back in 2001, and even then I was saying, yeah, we've been doing it for ages. It's been 4 years.
Yeah.
And even like a funny show, we did an all ages gig, and every band on there was like, yeah, we've been doing this for 2 years. Yeah, we've been doing this for 3 years. And I got on there and I went, I've been doing this for 24 years. Anyone just turns around and goes, what? 24 years? So, yeah, 24 years, yeah. Just been hard at it, that's it. And the main thing is to have fun, you know, so that's probably the reason why I'm still doing it, you know, because, like, you know, if you don't make it or you don't do anything, as long as you go out there wanting to have fun, you'll have no regrets, you know, and something happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least I'm having fun playing music and I'm having fun with people liking it, so that's my goal at the moment.
Yeah,
and it's quite good.
Yeah, that's good, man, for sure. Yeah. Awesome. All right, well, look, cheers, man. Thanks for coming on again, and I'll see you at a gig soon. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hit us up. Give us a slap.
We'll do, man. We'll do.
All right. For water. I can't drink when I sing because my voice breaks. So yeah.
Cool, man. All right. Thanks, mate.
All right, thanks, mate.
When I stand for the best, I sing so drown. Humanity sits us down, sucking shit for ourselves. We remain like a tomb, just for the bloody world. Zero hours on square, give the line, let's get